Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very special episode coming your way. We're here out in Arizona and we have been granted special access onto private property to explore this really cool old mine site. And I'm very excited because this is one spot I tried coming to a few weeks ago. I saw the signs and I said, well, I don't know. And it just so happens that we ran into the owner of another claim just down the road that we were looking at, which was for sale, which is actually not for sale because the guy just bought it. And we mentioned that we wanted to come down here and he said, well, sure, you can go check it out, I don't care. I'm still going to withhold the location of this place because just because I got special access doesn't mean everyone can come in and check it out. But it's right over there. There's a lot of different mines on the property. I see some stuff down there. There was a whole mill. There was a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna have a good explore here. Okay, so here we are coming up on the property here. There's an old camper. This thing's sure been sitting here a while. Huh.
I had this same motorhome growing up as a kid.
What's that?
I had this same motorhome growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
My family can all
Looks like something out of Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's broken bad. That's
Yeah. Breaking Bad actually used a 1980s Fleetwood Bounder. This is a Chevy Sports Coach. Wow, would you look at this head frame? Isn't that incredible? And here's the hoist house. Let's see what we got in here. Warm weather is coming, so we do need to watch out for snakes. Some random stuff over here. Would you just look at this? This is awesome.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
dude.
You have your, one of them is your brake, I'm assuming. So we have a brand on here. Yes, we do. And I cannot read that. That's awesome. Is it just like the one at the mine property up the road? Same exact size too.
Lead bearings.
Yep.
And they made them out of lead so that they could pull them out and make new
Yep.
ones.
Yep. Still has the cable on it and everything. Now, what's really interesting about this building is it looks like someone took it and just ripped it apart, but no, it was actually shaped. It was actually shaped kind of funny. Doesn't it look like someone just ripped it apart, kind of? You know,
I mean,
just ripped into it.
it was built in an L shape so they could, from here they could pull
Yep.
the skip cars up, but then right next to it they had their office building.
Yep. Got some hose over there. This is where they would actually get the fine gold.
So there's this motor right here.
Yep.
And this spins.
Yep.
And you can see how this whole thing rocks.
Yep.
And that vibrates the whole thing and it shakes.
Uh-huh.
You have sprayers right here,
Right.
and the heavy stuff will end up over here.
Right. Yeah. So
And
Nicky here is really good with minerals, and he's done a couple. He has a couple claims up in Montana, and he's more familiar with gold, with minerals and gold and stuff than I am. I just know to history and stuff of mines. But that's pretty cool. I thought it was a sluice, but
Yeah, so you have your,
yeah.
what will happen is your heavies
Yep, yeah.
will end up over here,
Mhm,
and then your mids will end up here. Your tailing.
Well, they would be putting a little bit. The water would be coming probably out of there, and it would be
Oh, in
coming
here.
down. Yeah, it would be coming down. And it's
Oh,
pretty
no,
cool.
you're right. This is backwards. But the water goes in there.
Yeah, comes
and they have
down.
another little.
Yep. And then you have probably waste and other stuff would be around these little channels here.
And look at this. It's got a recirculation.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
you might go in here if you were really good at panning.
Yeah,
find a
there might
couple-
be a little bit of stuff. There might be little bits of gold that were left behind in here, but it's pretty cool. Here's some sand over here. Interesting.
So that's unprocessed.
Yeah. There might be some gold in that.
Yep.
And then I got some water tanks here. This is the crusher.
Yep.
All right, we got an ore crusher over here.
So let me take
Cool.
a look at this. I can tell you if it's a slap or a jaw.
Yeah.
So it looks like. So the difference between a slap and a jaw will spin.
Mhm.
You have two jaws that go like this, and they
Right.
just crunch and release it at the bottom. But this
Yep.
is a slap mill.
Huh.
So it's got big chunks of metal that just kind of
Yep.
whip around in there and
Mhm.
slap everything
Interesting.
around. And when it gets fine enough, it'll fall through the grate as this
Fine
ultra-fine
material. Yeah.
material. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, if you look in here, you can see. And here's your head frame. Here's your vertical shaft.
Let me see if I can see the bottom.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nothing. It would probably go so far down you can't even
I don't see a
can't even see anything.
Yep. I don't see a man.
But I'm willing to bet there was something there that had to do with water. You see those on the end there's a pipe that came out of there.
either water or air to supply.
Yeah, air or water. And I'm also wondering, where would the skip cart system be? I'm not seeing any ore cart track or anything unless it was removed.
I'm not sure the dates of this mine, but if it was pre-World War II, they might have pulled all of the
Right.
back out for
Well,
steel.
I'm sure with a mine like this, if you're looking at the waste rock piles, there are going to be entrances that are probably further down. And we still have yet to go over there. There's an old mill here. I believe he said it was a stamp mill. I'm not 100% sure. So these right here, I don't know if you can tell, is pyrite, and if you look, you can see it all scattered around through this pile right here.
You can smell it too.
Oh, I can, yes, the sulfur, I can
sulfur.
definitely smell it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That or Taco Bell from last night. Look at this. Somebody scooped up here recently,
Yeah.
and look at all
Yeah, I
that, all
know.
those glitter chunks of pyrite.
Yeah, there's a lot in here.
So what people don't realize is that pyrite is not necessarily fool's gold.
No, it could have gold with it.
Yep, it traps microscopic gold.
It does, yes.
And quite
So
frankly, it's the main ore.
I'm wondering if he's running this pile right here. If they're running this pile, but what he had in that bucket looks more like finer sand, and that's not what this is.
So he might be taking. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
That's a chunk of ore if I ever saw
Okay,
one.
so look at that right there. Look at that pyrite right in there. That's awesome.
Yep, all the way over
Yes.
here.
Wow.
And you can see where it's this cavity where it used to be there.
Yep.
That's one of the things you look for, because the pyrite with acidic conditions will actually dissolve and melt out of there, but the gold and the silver will not. It'll stay inside that pocket.
Here's something that caught my eye here. This is also a Demco.
I wonder if it's all part of the same purchase.
Possibly.
Hey, check this out.
What?
We got open the portal.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Alright, so we just found a little exploratory drift near that where wasn't worth filming. So now we're going down here. There's another road there. Might be some cool ore on the pile. Some more pyrite. Now we're headed down to the road where there's some foundation of buildings and a mill. We're gonna check that out. So we saw a picture that the previous owner showed us. There's a big building on the property. It's not there anymore. There's only one remaining structure aside from that, which we can check out, and I hope we find a way into this mine. I know up there you have your vertical shafts, and there might be some other. I'm not seeing anything else over there, but I'm sure down here there'll be some stuff. We're gonna see what's down this road here. So there's some stuff down below on the next road, which we're gonna check out. I see an open shaft and some wood and stuff like that, so we're gonna see what they were doing over there. And we're getting closer to where the mill was. I believe it was on the other side of this hill over here. And not only that, there's some buildings down there. Keep going down the road, there's some cabins and buildings which we can still check out, so there's plenty of stuff here to look at. Here's one waste rock pile right here. There's some sort of water tank down there. And here's a shaft. Yeah. There's a look at the hoist house and head frame. Here's your shaft. Fortunately, there's no safe way to get down this without rappelling. So, but yeah, still pretty cool to see. We have yet to see an attic we can walk into, but we're looking. There's some more tanks down there. There's the road we came in from. Hell, yep. You
got the retaining wall.
And there's a shaft.
There's a shaft over there.
That's not an adit. That's a vertical.
But look at this, might be an adit.
Perhaps, yeah, maybe. Well, we'll see when we get down there. That's an interesting looking retaining wall. And I just was not filming a minute ago, but if you look here, there is pyrite everywhere. And there's a lot of it over here. Okay. There's a better look at your retaining wall, and you have a shaft right over there. There's the other gate into this property. We got a tank over here. Not seeing much, but there's a lot of stuff on the other side of that hill, and we're slowly making our way over there. Pretty big looking water tank over there on the hill. We're getting closer to the stamp mill, or at least the foundation of it where it once sat. And there is a building over here too. Yep, there we are down here. We got some more tanks. I'm going to assume your structure is right around there somewhere. Got some pipe down there. Got some pipe up here. They always say follow the pipe and you'll find an adit or a shaft. You know? So here's the foundation. A stamp mill used to sit over here. And it must have been a pretty big one. We're gonna find a way to crawl up there.
It looks like the engine might be up still.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. I got a homemade fire pit. Yeah. Here's the road over there. I'm gonna put my bag down and we're gonna go up there. So here we are. We're on the foundation here. That's still there.
It's really cool.
This thing looks like it kind of fell. It wasn't supposed to be like that. You can see where they notched it to fit over that right there. There must have been something else supporting it up and it came down. And
here's the ore.
Hmm?
That's the ore they're looking for. See it
Okay,
all over the place. And that's exactly what the owner was telling us.
yeah.
Decomposing granite with heavy sulfides.
Yep. And now up there's another piece of equipment that's pretty cool, but I'm gonna have to go up to the next level that we saw from, I believe it's the next level up there. You gotta go up there, check it out. Here's a bolt. This will go along with your square nuts. More of that mesh over there. Up by your foot.
Pile of nails right there.
Yeah, those are crazy studs. It's crazy what it took. Look at that. Look what it took to bend one of these.
Yeah.
That's insane, isn't it? We got one more level up here to go up. And there's a structure of a building here. And there was an old historical picture of the site that the owner showed us. And there was another fairly larger building somewhere over here. We might be able to find the foundation of it. And we gotta go through these thorns over here. More studs. This thing was pretty big. That's cool. It still has a square nut and washer on it. Unfortunately, a lot of this wood is rotted.
You still see the clutch mechanism.
Yeah.
Oh, check that out. Danny would think this is cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, he has a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. This thing just fell right.
That's the clutch right
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm. This thing would spin. That's awesome. It's part of the belt that was on this machine here. look at that. Try to get out of the sun right there. There we go. MESSE, Messy and Cott. That was the company that manufactured this. California, SF California. How much you want to bet that stands for San Francisco?
San Francisco.
Yep. Messy and Cott, San Francisco, California. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You could really poke around here for days. But we gotta keep moving. There's still more to see here. We're gonna keep on going. Danger, keep away.
Oh, it's an Orban.
Huh?
It's an Orban.
Oh, it's in orbit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
Yeah.
a 45 in there.
Oh, nice.
That one opening that's been cut.
Uh-huh.
It was an Orban.
Sweet. I wonder where the glory hole is. You said go down the second gate.
They go down the second gate and you can't miss it.
Oh, that one comes out over there. This kind of reminds me of a skull, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Got the two eye sockets. Oh yeah, it's just a little yeah. Nice spot for shade though.
Yep.
We'll check that out in a second.
Wow.
Yeah. This feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. Here's your shaft right here. That could be the glory hole. It's a big hole.
Uh-huh.
Nah, that one's not that deep. So this that whole area out there was blasted out. Yeah, this is the Rappel mine. So I might have to come back to this one. I think it would be cool to try to rappel down the main shaft. Okay, so we're pretty much done over here exploring the top side of this mine. We're gonna get back in the car, go down the hill, and there's a little more to this property. It has some old buildings on it. We're gonna check that out. And there are a couple buildings we can check out. There's an old outhouse, and I believe there's one or two other buildings over here. Here's your bathroom. No plumbing here. So all the waste was just going right down here, and now is it.
It's right down into the rocks.
It was just going right into the rocks. Yep. Okay, and here we got a stone building. This is pretty cool. Oh, wow. They sure don't build them like this anymore.
It's actually nice and cool in here, despite it being 100 plus outside.
Yeah, yeah. You could tell there was I believe there was a wood stove here at one point. There's your...
Yep, your flue pipe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it came out right here, so there was a wood stove right here.
Yep, probably a pot belly.
And what people don't understand is that, yeah, we're in the desert, but it gets cold at night. You can get cold at night out here,
Yeah.
especially in the wintertime.
It gets down to 25.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah. Looks like someone burned a mattress here. Here's another look at this building. I don't know what all these were for, but this is definitely part of the same property that we were on exploring the mine. Just glad we ran into the owner because we got official permission to come here, which is awesome. Looks like some newer siding going up. Yeah, they're doing some renovation work, it looks like. Rebuilding the walls.
We were building something on the other side of the...
Yeah. Window.
This is the mine ladder.
Yeah.
You can see how the inset runs
Yep.
so that it don't break. That's the main thing.
Here's a look into the other upper part. Very cool. Very cool original building. Well, here's the obviously a lot newer cabin on this property. More modern construction. You got a nice screened out porch here. This is nice. Cool, I'll be there in a minute. You have a beautiful, beautiful area out here. Really nice and shaded. I mean, this is gorgeous. Yeah, I'm very curious about that. Let's check this out right here. Huh. So this isn't a mine adit. They were using this as like a root cellar or cold storage for food back in the day, and it's open over here. That's the thing you just when you point into an adit, which is actually this area over here. It's been backfilled over here, but here's a door. It's pretty cool.
All this black soot, you can see some of the fire here.
Yeah, and this is interesting. I don't know what that is. Maybe there's a pump in there or something. I don't know.
Oh well, probably.
That right there, and then that's so 70s and 80s right there. That that glass.
Oh, I know.
The square glass.
Mom and Dad had some of that at their
Yeah,
house.
yeah, that's like a. But yeah, and I like this area back here. It's pretty cool. You got a wall here. You got a sitting area. This house is in really good shape. I mean, I like working on stuff. I could always see potential in something. You got a bathroom here, original old clawfoot tub, or maybe metal. I don't. Could be metal. Yeah. And then a toilet, little closet here. I mean, it's a small little house, but it's pretty cool. Here's your old stove. There's no bedroom in here, but it's still pretty interesting. I really like this sun porch right here. That's awesome. Put a wood-burning stove back in here. That would be cool.
This would not. You can have.
Yeah, this is an awesome property, and this is an awesome mine. This is very cool. We're kind of like in a little wash here. There's some water coming down there. There's a little stone something here. I'm curious as to what that is. And we just saw a cow a few minutes ago. I'm not sure where he went. He might have gone up this way. But this is interesting here. I wonder if there's anything else down this way. I'm gonna go check it out real quick. Here's another section to this building that was blocked off from the other section.
Half the materials you need to restore this place are right here already.
Yeah. Yes, these are all core samples right here. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of old furniture. Here's an old muffler for a truck. Nails. There's a lot of old stuff in here. Old fans, box fans. Here's the last building on this property. Small little one. Kind of overgrown. And that's it.